Yeah, I appreciate the comments from the gentlelady from Nevada. Obviously, she wasn't on the committee last session, and when she talks about bicameral approach, and everybody agrees that there needs to be a bipartisan approach to this, we tried. We tried last session to advance this stuff on a bipartisan basis. It didn't go anywhere, and I know you weren't here to help that along, but that is what happened. Representative Graves, what numeric environmental standards have changed in your bill?
None. We haven't, we simply went back and tried to, Mr. Tiffany, I think, focus the resources and concentration and attention on the environment. And so if anything, so I'll say it again, none, but it also helps to focus the attention on impacts and on true solutions, allowing projects to move forward faster, including environmental projects.
So you haven't changed any numeric environmental standards in this bill?
We have not.
Okay, thank you.
Other than, just want to be clear, page limits and time constraints, which is outside the confines of your question.
So the paper mills in Wisconsin will be disappointed about Nemadji Trail project. Who are those external groups that took action to delay this project?
To clarify the question, you're specific to the Nemadji Trail Energy Center?
Specifically to that.
Yeah. My understanding, Sierra Club, Minnesota Center for Environmental Advocacy, those were the entities that petitioned RUS to rescind the FONSI and explore the greenhouse gas impacts of the project.
Yeah, and it seems to my recollection, so this proposal is for Superior, Wisconsin, which is in my district. Didn't the EPA also play a role in interceding in this process? And could you explain that?
I can. So once RUS agreed and rescinded the FONSI, went into the supplemental environmental assessment process. It went back out for public comments once we completed that greenhouse gas evaluation. So EPA did submit public comments in that 30-day public comment period.
And did the EPA intercede as a result of the intercession of those groups like the Sierra Club?
That is my understanding.
That was done at their behest. I'm really glad you cited in regards to Dairyland's energy future and the assessment by the North American Electric Reliability Corporation highlights the critical need to maintain baseload generation. That's what it says in your testimony. Isn't it correct in Wisconsin this last year, they took an unusual step of saying that Wisconsin, you are headed to a place where you may be going towards blackouts with unusual conditions?
The Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, MISO, that operates the grid in the central part of the country, did in fact also submit public comments in that case. And it was unusual that they went out in support for this project, again citing the concern that we can't operate the grid solely on wind and solar power. We need some dispatchable.
But the message was sent very clearly for the first time in the state of Wisconsin by NERC. They said, you are headed for blackouts if you continue in the direction that you are with the lack of baseload power that is being eliminated in the state of Wisconsin. By the way, we have 3 coal-fired plants that are supposed to be closed here in the next year or two. They've been delayed temporarily. If those plants are closed, you can count on us probably heading for blackouts in Wisconsin, becoming like Western Europe and California. I'm really glad you brought up what you did, Mr. Pugh, in regards to the expense to this whole permitting process. I have a county in my district that they're trying to get a grant from the infrastructure bill that was passed last session, $1.5 million to fix about 3 miles of road. I talked to a local contractor. If they could do this without the federal requirements, they'll do it for half, $750,000. We are not going to get much bang for the buck out of the infrastructure bill. I'll just close by this. On the border in Yuma, and no judiciary Dems showed up. No Democrats showed up at all. Lots of people showed up in Yuma, though. The president does not show up in East Palestine, Ohio, where there is a major environmental problem that's going on. And today, his administration, via the CEQ, does not show up. When are Democrats going to show up for business of the American people? I yield back.